I don't care what you put on your vision board, the sticky notes on your mirror, how many affirmations you make, your body is not going to believe your thoughts more than it believes your actions. See, your body doesn't understand English, it understands action. So those words, they do something for your spirit. They allow you to take in the thought and breathe it into your body. But in order for it to take root, those words have to be walked. Yo, what's happening? What up, though? And welcome to another edition of the Align Creative Podcast. I am your host, CL Palmer, aka CZ Pod Gang, and today we are going to talk about that nervous system. We are going to talk about regulating that nervous system and how to get your body to trust the new identity that you are taking on as you become the higher version of yourself. And before we get into that, as always, I want to give you a big shout out and say thank you because I am truly grateful that you are watching or listening to this podcast because you felt that it was important enough for you to get at least 1% better than you were before you started it. So, shout out to you. I also want to give a shout out to my kids because there is nothing like unconditional love. When I tell you, I get the best feeling when they just run up to me saying, Daddy, giving me a big hug and a kiss. And I feel that there's no transaction that is associated with that love. Unlike some of our romantic and friendships, unconditional love is not just something that you need to get from other people, but it's also something that you have to give to yourself. And my kids are just another reminder of that because I have to give myself grace. When things don't go exactly how I want them to go, when I drop the ball, when I get frustrated with myself in my situation, I know that I'm still worthy. I deserve patience and I deserve rest. I deserve peace. I deserve my happiness and I deserve to enjoy life. And I deserve to give all those things to myself unconditionally because no one else is going to give it to me the way that I will. I want you to look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you giving yourself unconditional love? It's by far one of the best things you could possibly do for yourself. And really, giving yourself that grace is one of the most important things you can do to regulate that nervous system. All right, let's take a quick break and then we're going to talk about that. So, welcome back to the Align Creative. And today we are all about that nervous system. So, I want to start by telling a little story about myself. I'm 36 years old. I probably smoked weed daily from the time I was 15 all the way up into early 2025. And by the time my birthday hit in June, I had went cold turkey for about 4 months. Now, why did I need to do that? What's wrong with smoking some weed? Nothing is wrong with smoking weed because I still partake in it from time to time. The thing that happened was I felt that I needed to shift in the way that I was moving in the world. Everything wasn't working the way that I wanted to, and I needed to change so I could see what would happen if I did things different. And come to find out, it was one of the smartest decisions that I could have possibly made. And that is because I was no longer numb. I was not bypassing my emotions, my uncomfortable feelings, and I gained the ability to cry again. Oh, what? See you what you couldn't cry because you was on the weed? Yes, the weed had dried my eyes out. There had been no crying. And what happened was I actually had to do some healing. I was doing some self-reflecting and I needed to get into the things that were causing me pain on the inside from a deep place. And I will talk more about that in some upcoming episodes, but I want to focus on what happens when you are smoking weed versus not. And what also happened was I found myself more in control of my emotions when it came to being in an argument with my significant other. I found myself not needing the stimulation to get things done, to feel good, to really get me in the mood to do anything. It wasn't necessary. All that time I had been smoking, I thought that I needed it. for one reason or another. And the reason why this came up to me is because I spent a little time on the interwebs and I was on threads, and I've come across this topic in a couple different ways, but most recently I jumped in this comments of this young lady who made a video saying to not judge her for smoking weed. And what she did was she made some false equivalents. So she said, don't judge me for smoking weed if you drink alcohol, if you masturbate a lot, or if you drink coffee. Now, I give you the first two, but the coffee is totally different. Yes, people can develop a habit around coffee, but the goal of drinking coffee is not to regulate myself or make me happy. It's to give me energy and enough spark to get up to speed, get going, finish, whatever it is. Like, it's more about the situation than it is the coffee. Meanwhile, the other three are used as tools for bypassing. And I really need my people to get this thing straight, because I had people asking me questions in the comments like, well, what do you do to cope? Do you meditate and pray? Everybody needs something to cope with what's going on in the world. First off, if you want to get away from what's going on in the world, turn the TV off, don't watch the news, and put the phone down. Because if we want to go the quantum route, it doesn't exist until you observe it. There's somebody right now in the Amazon jungle that has none of the problems that we have because none of them exist. But there was another false equivalent, because meditation, prayer, but especially meditation, the thing that it does the most is it makes you present. It makes you feel your body, the breath going in and out of your chest. It helps you regulate your nervous system naturally. You were not born high, drunk, or horny in order for you to be regulated as a baby. You needed food and sleep. Has any of that changed in all the years that you have been on earth? Don't worry, I'll wait. See, the thing about smoking weed is it numbs you. It gives you the opportunity to throw away the data that comes in with emotions. I think people look at being emotional as a bad thing, but emotions are just information. Emotions tell you about the situation that you're in. So if you're the type of person that's like, man, I hate this job. When I get home, I'm about to smoke and I'm about to kick back. So I ain't got to think about this. Or when you get into an argument or you get into an uncomfortable situation that causes you some anxiety, you like, man, I need to smoke. I can't deal with you right now. This too much for me. I need to chill and get my thoughts together, get my feelings together. Let me smoke. Okay, cool. You have now given control of your nervous system's ability to regulate to the weed. You may not be on a full on spiritual journey, but if you were actually looking for freedom in this world, the sovereignty that you need so you can live your best life, nothing can have control over you in any sense or form of the word. Because if you hate your job so much that you need to numb yourself after you get off work, then you're not understanding why you need to quit that job or why you need to do something else. Because it could be you're supposed to be starting a business right now. It could be there's a different line of work that is more fit for the person that you are and your divine purpose. You keep smoking after you get into an argument with that person, but it may be that you might not need to be around that person at all. If every time y'all get around each other, y'all having an argument, somebody's in their feelings, somebody is shouting, somebody's getting violent, somebody's being petty, why? And when you smoke weed to get away from those answers, you don't get the information that you need so you can actually have peace that you can have on your own. You're trusting your peace with the weed. And I know weed is readily available pretty much everywhere. But let's just say it's not. Then what? What are you going to do? Let's just say that you get to a point where it doesn't do the trick. You gonna go to the hard stuff? Nobody is saying that smoking weed is bad, that you shouldn't be doing it at all. I would be a hypocrite because I smoke right with you. But the thing about it is, I don't need it. It's not necessary for me to do anything because I've built my life to where I'm happy without any substances. I'm happy because that's my own responsibility. It's like being in a relationship and depending on someone else for your happiness. What happens when they're not happy with themselves? What are you going to do for happiness? You have to understand what the objective is when you are elevating and becoming that highest, best version of yourself. It's to find internal alignment and sovereignty that you've already had the entire time, but you've had to fend off everything from the world so you can get it back. Instead of you clawing for it back yourself, you make it the job of a substance. So I really need my people to take this message to heart. I need you to really listen to what I'm saying. You don't have to quit smoking weed. You don't have to stop forever, but give it a break and see how you feel. Get out here for 6 months without weed and see if your body can maintain itself. See how your energy changes, how you interact with people, what you put up with. Because I bet you on anything that you won't put up with the same things that you put up with when the weed was an option. And if nothing changes, shoot me a DM. I will cash app you $10 and you can go buy you a pack. Do they still make dimes? I don't know. I'm not in the streets like that. Whatever. Anyway, don't ignore the data that your body is giving you. Take it in, process it, and figure out what it is you need to do next. All right. So that wraps it up for this side of the podcast. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about identity and how your nervous system gets to accept that identity. We'll be back on the Align Creative. Let's go. Welcome back to the Align Creative Podcast. I'm your host, CL Palmer, aka CZ Pod Gang, and we're going to wrap it up by talking a little bit more about that nervous system, but this time more about how it functions and believing who you are becoming. So we've already discussed that we don't need a substance to regulate our nervous system, but you also can't think your way to a regulated nervous system. Let me tell you what I mean by that. I don't care what you put on your vision board, the sticky notes on your mirror, how many affirmations you make, how many times you repeat those affirmations, how many times you write them down. Your body is not going to believe your thoughts more than it believes your actions. See, your body doesn't understand English, it understands action. So those words, they do something for your spirit. They allow you to take in the thought and breathe it into your body. But in order for it to take root, those words have to be walked. Those words have to be turned into a micro habit that creates proof that you are shifting. I said it on the video. It's not that you need to get healthy by just going vegan and working out at the gym for an hour a day. Your body will believe that you're taking yourself serious when you start drinking more water, when you change the type of snacks you eat, when you start taking a 10-minute walk around your neighborhood. That's action. It's not just thinking about it. It's not going in the mirror and saying, I am healthy, I am strong. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is, can you do things with your energy that will make your body believe that you are shifting into a new person? Because your nervous system has one job, and that's to keep you safe. It's not concerned about you being happy. It's not concerned about you reaching your highest heights. It wants to survive. And the only thing that it knows how to do is stay in a comfortable place that feels real familiar. Think about, like, if you've ever went to a new school or started a new job in a new position, your body automatically feels some anxiety because it doesn't know what to expect. You had been to school before, but not this school, not with these people. You've worked jobs before, but you may not have worked here at this particular job or this position with this amount of responsibility. There's an automatic response to things that are unfamiliar that will cause your body to tense up, maybe a little, maybe a lot. But the truth of the matter is, it has to take time to get adjusted. Day in and day out, you learn the rules, you learn who's the bullies, you learn who's the populars, you learn who's the high achievers, you learn who are the people that you can trust, you figure out where the bathroom is. how you want to take your breaks, and you start figuring things out day by day, day by day. And all of a sudden, it becomes your new reality. But it doesn't come just because you say, I want to be comfortable here. You can sit at that desk all day and say, I'm going to be comfortable here. I am comfortable here. I am strong. I am confident here. But until you actually take the steps to doing the things that make that a reality, it's just words. So when you want to shift from being a people pleaser, from being the person who is the fixer, the grindaholic, uh, or just a person that doesn't know how to say no, and you want to shift into the easy money person, into the person who can set boundaries easily and always keep them solid, you're going to have to perform the actions that agree with it. When you set a boundary, you have to follow that no. You can't compromise and be incoherent with the person that you are trying to be. It takes outright resonance on every vibrational level for you to achieve a new identity. You cannot be a person with $1 million business if you are not doing the things that generate $1 million. I don't care how much money McDonald's or Coca-Cola makes, they're always running ads. Why? Because that's what profitable companies do. So if you're telling me that you're doing everything you can to make $1 million business, and advertising is not part of it, you're not doing everything and you're not in coherence with having a business with the identity of being $1 million business. All of these things have to agree with each other. The actions, the thoughts, the intentions all need to be aligned in order for that thing to take place. So, like I said, your body doesn't believe the identity that you want to take, it believes the actions that you are taking. And if you find yourself not having complete control, that's probably because there is a subconscious identity that you have grown from either childhood or other situations that help you be safe and comfortable. You've probably taken on an identity that has allowed you to function and thrive around people that are probably not doing things in your best interest. And now it's time to take back the controller. Pass the sticks. What I have found to be the most useful thing is to name it and claim it. Just like you would with anything else you want to manifest. You need to name it and claim it. But with your identity, you need to find out what identity is running the show now and what's the one that you want to take on that needs to be in charge. Naming that identity and claiming the new one, figuring out how to give your nervous system proof that that identity is coming in has been the most useful thing for any of my coaching clients. So I want to help anybody out there that wants to take the action and step up and name that old identity and claim a new one. Attached to this episode in the show notes, there's a link. You can take a quiz. It might take you about 10 minutes at the most, and you can find out what identities you have been taking on, and it will help you identify the ones that you need to shift into. At the end of the quiz, there is a 15-minute exercise that you can do that will help take those identities and an action and pull it all together so you can start rewriting that narrative and have a real framework about how you're going to take the shift today. Because all it takes is one step. All it takes is one choice in the opposite direction for that new identity to start taking place. One more glass of water, 3 more deep breaths, 5 minutes of walking, one giant no. So if you want some help getting that work done, check out the link in the show notes and you can get the work on it right now. All right. So I hope this episode has been valuable. I hope it has helped somebody out there. Please like, subscribe, rate and review, share it with somebody who needs to hear this message, because the only reason I'm doing this is to help people get free. This is step one into being the most creative person that you could possibly be. Whether you think you're a creative or not, you're creating your reality through the stories that you are telling yourself. You took a bunch of clothes this morning and you made an outfit. That was creative. You went in that kitchen and grabbed some food and made a dish. That was creative. You're creative all the time. Don't sell yourself short. And rewriting the narratives to your life is the most creative thing that you could possibly do for your life that will help you get the furthest. All right. Appreciate y'all time once again. I'm CL Palmer at CZ Pod Gang on Instagram at CZ.Fourway on the TikTok. Let me know what y'all think about this episode. Let me know if y'all need some more help with identity shifting. Let me know if there's something that y'all want me to talk about. I'm all ears for everything. And with all that being said, until next time, stay aligned and stay blessed. Peace.